Already off the rails. What's up, everybody? It's Keefe, and you're watching another Ghost Cult Mag's weekly ritual. Holy shit. I am not Sherry Lewis and lamb chop, but I have a lamb chop. Holy cow, what a start already. Frozen, stiff, and solid. That's fine. The intro video did not work for once. Everything is Amtrak. But anyway, Melissa's here, my fiance. I'm getting married in a couple of months. Crazy times, but love you, dear. If you're new here, welcome. We're ghostcultmag.com. We are 24/7 rock and metal news, interviews with bands, concerts, and festival coverage all over the world, and a whole lot more. As you will soon see, this is our show. This is what we do. This is how we do. I'm going to drop the tip menu. If you're feeling tipsy, we appreciate it. We do have some paid advertising, and we do make some money from affiliate deals, as you will hear about later on. But, hey, Scott is here. What's up, brother? That's right, man. July 17th is the big day. And, yeah, we're getting closer. It's getting crazy. Planet Rock is here. Hello, Fatima2316. We're just here rocking and a-rolling, doing everything we can to bring you the rock and metal news. So without further ado, let's get into the show. We always start with the announcements, and there are quite a bunch of big ones. Gosh, I brain farted there, didn't I? Okay. Big announcements this week, of course. Happy birthday to Omar Jr. Omar's son is 24 years old. I remember when he was just a little peanut of a child, and now he's a giant big man. He has grown up wonderfully and is all the wonderful and cool things I hope young people can be. And shout out to Omar as well. Big Omar and little Omar. Also, we are almost to 2 million views on YouTube and almost to 7,000 subs. So if you're new here and you like what you see, feel free to subscribe and check us out. That does the best you can do to help us is to sub. I do the yells is here, Misty is here, Jaden is here. What's up? Album of the month. We just voted on the album of the month, and it is Corrosion Conformity, Good Man, Bad Man, out now on Nuclear Blast Records. You can check out an interview on our YouTube and our podcast with Don DeLamont and Bobby Landgraf, who replaced Mike Dean. Dean is a huge hero to me. And Fairy Ring is here. Camille is here. Crystal Ball. What's up? Thanks for being here. So, yes, some COC love from the staff of Ghost Cult. We also remembered the birthday of Chuck Schuldiner, the legendary death metal guitarist and vocalist of Death. He would have turned 59 this year, just a couple of days ago. If you have yet to watch last year's Into the Void documentary series on Hulu, the episode with Chuck is particularly heart-wrenching. These underground musicians don't really have insurance. They don't have a safety net. They don't have a savings. It's insane. But he was amazing. This is another hard one that hurt me. Donald Gibb, who played the iconic bad guy Ogre in Revenge of the Nerds, died this week at 71. We also lost Robert Carradine just a couple of, last month. So to have them both pass away back to back is very sad for me. As a big nerd myself, and Revenge of the Nerds was a huge movie in my childhood. George Carlin would have celebrated a birthday this week. I believe he would have been 89, excuse me. That is insane and pretty cool. Also, this is a real heart one. Omar sent me this in our usual thread. Japanese horror legend Koji Suzuki passed away. You know, The Ring and a bunch of other American versions of his films. Guy was incredible output in Japanese cinema. We did a premiere this week for the band Guides out of Pittsburgh, post-hardcore and nu metal influenced power trio. They dropped their new song Drain, which is pretty damn heavy. You can check that out on the site. Also, last week we premiered the new video Grog is Born, the new video True by Kurt Deimer. The album is A Grog is Born. That's out now. Kurt Deimer's a rocker and a horror movie actor. We got some more horror movie stuff coming up soon to talk about. Vakken Metal Battle Canada announced their winner, Born Broken. They will compete to go to Vakken. I believe the East Coast finals are going to Baltimore soon. Omar was a judge in New York for that. Also, thanks to everybody that entered our giveaway. You know, we do a lot of giveaways here at Ghost Cult pretty regularly, every quarter, at least one, if not two. And, you know, the hope is that people will support us and keep following us and stay engaged. But we did give away a pair of tickets to Echo and the Bunnymen this weekend in Los Angeles. Dean Carr, what up, Dean? I'd love to interview you sometime on my podcast and YouTube channel. DM me, or I'll DM you. That is a promise and a threat at the same time. Some metal history. Let's go down memory lane. Albums that were released this week in metal history. Immolation's Kingdom of Conspiracy. Hard to believe that record is 15 or 16 years old. The album that put Lamb of God on the map, As the Palaces Burn, came out this week in 2003. Maybe the best soundtrack ever, The Crow, came out this week in 1994. Morbid Angel's A album, Altars of Madness, came out this week in history. 2 Iron Maiden albums, specifically Fear of the Dark, which is like much maligned now, but I think at the time it came out, people weren't in love with it, but I think it holds up better now than it did back then. And it was the last album with Bruce for a while, and Adrian Smith. And then also about not quite 20 years ago, Somewhere Back in Time, the best of 80 to 89. You know, in a band, when they have enough songs that they can do decades of a greatest hits, and the 80s certainly were the decade for Iron Maiden. So yeah, that was pretty great. And then they did a tour to support that tour, where they did like Somewhere Back in, you know, Back in Somewhere in Time and Power Slave. Just kind of all, I saw that tour. It was incredible. Possessed's comeback album, Revelations of Oblivion, came out this week in 2009. I do believe they are working diligently on a new album at some point. And that is all the metal history and announcements. We'll get into the meat of the show in a second. But again, there's our tip menu. This show is always going to be free as long as I can. But if you feel like tipping, we appreciate it. All right. Now it's time for the features. The features this week. Hey, Eric Vaughn is here. What's up again? Good to see you. Good to see you. We'll see if anybody's on the gram. Signal Magazine and Yikes, I Don't Know 96 and The Only Headbanger have joined. Hello and hello. So yeah, let's see what else we have in this section. Just a reminder, we had an exclusive interview with Zoe-Marie Fedorov and Ashok Shmerda, formerly of Cradle of Filth, now of other projects. You can check that out on the site. We also did a live stream. I didn't do an extra live stream this week, but I think next week I will do 2. I will review the new Iron Maiden documentary, Burning Ambition. I will also maybe do an album review. I'll keep it a bit under wraps for now, but I'm going to try to do 2 next week. I have a very busy week on tap. But we did some live streams the last couple of weeks. We talked about Jason Newsted's Revelations, about Metallica, and we also thanks so much. Yeah, Bloodsport, that's right, man. I'm still on IG. Rubber Band Man is here. What's up, Adam? I'm still on IG Live now, but YouTube is also a thing. So yeah, Newsted, and also talked a little bit about more Slayer headline shows and what that means for fans. And then some new interviews this week. Our own Tom Osmond interviewed Barney Greenway of Napalm Death. We've had a bunch of interviews with Barney and Shane of Napalm Death over the many years. And they have, hey, Q is here. What's up? You know, of course, Napalm Death has a new collab album with Melvins. That's pretty incredible. Savage Imperial Death March, not to be confused with the tour, Savage Imperial Death March, not to be confused with the EP, Savage Imperial Death March that they all did last year. But a great interview with Tom and Barney. Also this week, my interview, probably one of the most unhinged and like insane interviews I have ever done. James from Kalohunka broke it down all about slug metal and just one of the weirdest, most bizarre things ever. And that includes my interview with Jazz Coleman, where he just went apeshit for like an hour. And I just sat there like, yep, okay, all right then. Infidel is here. Nola Metal is here. Koopa Oscar is here. But yeah, Kalohunka, crazy. And some other recent interviews, Cryptic Shift, we've had so many good interviews this year already, and more to come. We've got some bangers, some absolute bangers coming next week. Frozen Soul recently, and a bunch of others. So yeah. Also on our podcast tomorrow, I have a brand new podcast interview with Gabe Palacio. You know him better as Auntie Mosbeast. He's often in these videos. He's performing tonight in Florida live. He's got a brand new album coming out. The Unkempt and Vagrant Grave, the Vagrant and Unkempt Grave, sorry. And I got a brand new interview with him coming out, and there'll be a video of that to come later on. Okay, also this show will be a podcast. We have some exclusive stuff coming to our podcast and more. Hey, Southeast of Heavens here, Babyface, bro. I like Babyface, especially the album he wrote for Madonna. If you're nice to me, maybe I'll sing Take a Bow. All right. Also, Glacial Musical Podcast is coming up with a new episode tomorrow where we continue our series on AC/DC's Bon Scott era. Powerage, or Powerage, depending on how you want to say it, is the next record in our series. Next week will be our last one. Don is here. He is the co-host. Don. All right. That's all the features. That's all the news, previews, and now on to the regular news rundown, which as always, we start with festivals. And we got some biggies to talk about today. How it feels entering a festival, how it feels leaving. Sonic Temple is this weekend, already kicked off, underway on the East Coast. Probably just ended there tonight with My Chemical Romance and Breaking Benjamin. Shinedown, The Offspring, Simple Plan, Bring Me the Horizon, Good Charlotte, Marilyn Manson, Megadeth, and Tool, and a bunch of other bands. Kind of fun. Also, Milwaukee Metal Fest is fast approaching. I will be there in 3 weeks in Milwaukee. Really stoked about Acid Bath, Killswitch Engage, Ministry, Napalm Death, John Bush doing Anthrax. Finally, I'll get to see Macabre, Death Angel, Power Trip again. So many cool things. This is really funny. In addition to this pre-party, Milwaukee Metal Fest put out this thing this week that was like air conditioned, no sunburn, no swamp ass, no weather evacuations. It's clearly a dig at the Florida festivals, right? Like Rockville. Indoors, food vendors, and 75 bands and more. So I thought that was really great. Like, way to highlight the absolute difference between an indoor festival and an outdoor festival. GG Fan is back. Hello, GG Fans. Good to see you. Skeptical Wanderer is here. What's up? Scooter's back on the Grand. Cryptic Shift is amazing. You are so right. And Sweltermosh is here. What's up, Sweltermosh? What's up? Long time since I've seen you. Maryland Death Fest is just a few weeks away. I really would love to get back to this some year. I'm really glad they came back. I don't know if they're going to re-expand the festival to other places again. I think it kind of almost did them in. What an insane and great festival they have this year. Also, Furnace Fest 26 is announced for October 10th and 11th, a day to remember, and Bring Me the Horizon. Wild to see Bring Me the Horizon play like such a huge festival, but also Motionless in White and Slaughter to Prevail and Circus Survive and Under Oath and Chiodos. So lots of big bands there. Also, a thing that we love a lot here, I think it's in the next slide technically, is Spooky Empire. Ghost Cult has been part of Spooky Empire in the past. Omar and I went down to Florida one year and led some panels on horror, music, and metal. Spooky Empire now has 2 annual events, sometimes 3, but they're coming up May 29th to the 31st, halfway to Halloween. And yes, the actors from Chucky, Leprechaun, Jeepers Creepers, and Robert Englund himself, Freddy, will all be there. But also, Paul Mazurkiewicz of Cannibal Corpse just got announced as a guest artist. He's going to sign do a signing as well as sign and sell the Concept Cafe's Beheaded Brewing Cannibal Corpse coffee, which I've had and taste tested on the channel, which you can check out. What's up, Ghostface? So yeah, man, Spooky Empire, big fan. Big fan, man. I'm spoiled. I need all the indoor festivals. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. All right. Now it's time for concert tours and one-offs. And of course, the Metallica M72 World Tour is back on. And I have to be honest with you, I saw the set list and they haven't done the no repeats weekend yet. But honestly, this first batch of shows that are just them alone doing a show every 3 or 4 days, kind of the same old set list you've seen before. Some of it's pretty interesting. It is the 35th anniversary of the Black Album. No matter what Nick says on Glacially Musical, that 35 is not important number, but I think bands do pay attention to that shit. And so for the 35th anniversary of the Black Album, there is kind of like a 4 block of songs from the Black Album in the set, as well as Enter Sandman. So you'll be hearing more from that this year too. Also, Converge, it probably just ended a little while ago. Converge played a free show tonight in LA while they're on tour with Poison the Well, and they had a guest DJ spot from Sarah from Youth Code in the Epitaph Records parking lot. I wasn't aware they had concerts in the Epitaph Records parking lot, but I kind of hope they do more. I hope they do more. If you're going to Milwaukee Metal Fest, come up and say what's up to me. It'd be hard to miss me. I will have my battle vest on and some kind of funny hat and shirt. Amon Clock Tour featuring Amon Amarth and Death Clock and Castle Rat is wrapping up soon. A few more shows there, another week. Pussifer is closing the Normal Isn't US tour tonight in LA, probably on right now. And I saw it on Monday. Review coming tomorrow at Ghost Cult, but incredible show. And they just announced a huge tour of Europe and New Zealand, Hawaii, Asia with a perfect circle, which is insane. Also, the Godless 4 tour is wrapping up, so that also. There's the Pussifer dates for Europe coming next week with Dave Hill. That's incredible. And then they're going to go to Asia and all of, Australia and New Zealand with a perfect circle, where Pussifer and a perfect circle will play the same show, which I've seen them do at festivals, but never at the same show, which is insane. Again, the Crosses, formerly the Die Kreuzen tribute band, has got a bunch of tour dates coming up, including Milwaukee Metal Fest, so I will be going there, and maybe I will interview the band. The Story So Far and the Starting Line are doing a tour soon. Let's see, what else? Body Count is playing Sonic Temple this weekend and kicking off their summer of festivals and tour dates. Also, probably the most talked about band right now in America is Anghrine Deputrine. I hope I said that correctly. Just kind of a bizarre, weird, progressive something masked band. Just insane. Cliff Diver, the Oklahoma emo metalcore band, is going on indefinite hiatus, and they're playing 2 final shows. One at 89th Street and one at the Vanguard in these little places. We're just going out for smokes, kids. Like my grandfather did that to my dad. It's like, I'll be back later, and he never came back. Kind of incredible. Sausine is doing a big tour with Silent Planet. That's pretty cool. Or Seosin, depending on how you pronounce it. Fuel, this blew my mind. Fuel played like the town square tonight in the town I'm in right now. Cool band. I'm just really surprised that they're doing town squares, and I know that casinos and state fairs pay a lot of money. Megadeth and Exodus are doing the Cal State Fair, but not the one in the Mid-State Fair in like Modesto, I think. Not the Cal State Fair in Sac. If they were, I'd be going. Kind of wild as I drink my liquid death. What else? Today is the Days kicking off their kicked off their spring tour already. Ultrasun is wrapping up their tour, and they have more tour dates coming soon to the East Coast. This is dope. I'll see this at Milwaukee Metal Fest. All Shall Perish, The Price of Existence, 20th anniversary tour. They're playing the entire album live. I'm here for it. That was my jam back in the day. Lamb of God and Trivium announced some special tours of Australia and New Zealand with Bleed From Within. Would not be surprised to see this be a co-headline tour in North America in 2027. Because Trivium they released a new EP last month, and they will be coming out with new music soon. All right, that's the halfway point of the show at a very manageable time. Just in time to talk about not Shari Lewis and Lamb Chop, but Liquid Death. Not Thick with Meth. Liquid Death, but not Shari Lewis and Lamb Chop, which I'm hanging out with my Lamb Chop squeezy toy. Fable Beard. This is one of our favorite ever collabs. Affiliate partner at Ghost Cult, Fable Beard. Great deodorants and beard balms. I'll put some on for you right now. Which one should I do, Melissa? I have Father Time and I have the Wizard here. I think we'll do Father Time because I don't have another thing that smells like Father Time. And yeah, it just like really goes on like that, like so. You work it into your hands and then into your beard, and it is awesome. I'm going to look so handsome for my wedding on July 17th. Just 2 months away. Yep, Father Time. I'm going to smell delicious in just a little while. Other affiliate partners include Lamb Goat Media Network, as well as Craig Caruso of Caruso Apps. Craig has my back at all times. Pretty great. I feel very lucky to still have, to just still have, be able to do this. What else? So much more to talk about. All right. Let's see. Okay. Now it's time for the rest of the news. And of course, StreamYard. If you're watching this through the magic of StreamYard. Sign up with our link in the description if you want to stream like we do. It's a birthday present gift wrap band. That's exactly what they look like. They look like, who was the pop culture comic book artist, Melissa? Was it Roy Lichtenstein? That's what that band looks like. Polka dots. Randy Rhoads guitar pattern, Phil Demmel. Anyway, on with the rest of the show. We're on all the socials. We got a newsletter. We do all the things. This is pretty great. I saw this. Also, speaking of Ulster Parish, friendly reminder that spending money on concerts and music is not frivolous. They are mental health investments. And I have to agree. All right. What else? What else is happening? It's time for the rest of the news. Anthrax! Finally! My prayers have been answered. Anthrax will drop a new song in just a few hours. Their new album is coming September 1st. I could not be more excited. I'm so pumped. Music video looks cool. So the teaser, and we're here for it. We'll talk more about this next week. Foo Fighters played NPR's Tiny Desk concert. Kind of fun for such a big band to do that. What else? Dave Mustaine says that his feud with Metallica has been over for a few years, but then again, he covered Metallica on the Farewell Megadeth album, continues to talk about them. I don't know. I don't know if that's all true, but anyway. This is pretty cool. Harley Cro-Mag says, Cro-Mags have a new single dropping soon that's going to make all the haters and wannabes and chuds so sad. It's going to crush their fucking skulls. They're going to want to crawl back up in their mother's pussies and wish they were never born. I love Harley Cro-Mag, and I can't wait to interview him again for Ghost Cult. What a guy. Go see that documentary, Wired for Chaos. It is so true. This story kind of blew me away. I don't know if you saw this story make the rounds this week. Shout out to Lamb Goat for being the first ones to break this story. This is this, what is the band? I just blanked. Sorry, I hate the rat-a-tat-tatting. That's it. The Detroit 1993 cold case of Rodney Barger of Cold as Life was murdered in 1993 while he slept by his roommate, Richard Werstein. That guy was on the run for 30 years, and he was arrested in Panama April 29th, and he was extradited to the U.S. and arrested by U.S. Marshals. And that is a crazy story. Cold as Life has come back a few other times. as a band and then, sort of broken up and gotten back together. But what a crazy story that is. So shout out to Lamb Goat for breaking that news. Also, again, the Iron Maiden documentary. I saw it. It was awesome. Lots of Iron Maiden stuff in the Irons in the Fire. We know we're getting the Nico McBrain book soon. Hey there, boys and girls. And probably a bunch of other Maiden-related things. I know Bruce has been recording his second solo album or his second new solo album in the Mandrake Project series, so we look forward to that in 27. Also, Korn played at Sick New World, co-headlined at Sick New World last weekend and played their new song from Diablo 4 live and has a music video for it now, so that's kind of fun. What else happened this last week? Again, we were talking about Elisa White Glues a lot last week, joining Dragon Force. A lot of people are scratching their heads at that one, including me, but good for her. And I am looking forward to Blue Medusa music and the new Arch Enemy as well with Lauren Hart on vocals. Dolly is a new horror movie, and homies to Ghost Cult, Locked in a Vacancy, New York death metal legends are on the soundtrack, so I'm here for that. Aqua Tofana is here, Nicole is here, Mr. Vinyl is here. What up? I am sweating like a bank robber up in here. This is super interesting. I did not have this on my bucket list today. Ronnie Romero, who we can actually legitimately say he was a member of Rainbow. Ronnie Romero has joined a brand new metal band from Europe. And I was trying to remember the band, and now I can't remember what is happening. But yeah, glad to see him get in there and get in a new band. But also, he had, people were giving him a hard time. And I thought it was super interesting that, that's it. A Gun Driver, which is a terrible name, so I couldn't remember it. Ronnie is in the band with a couple of his other buddies. Gun Driver, sort of a Lamb of God type of band. Ronnie's a great vocalist, and he certainly can do all the things. But I was like, oh my God. Gun Driver is not a great name. Bands, put a little more time into your names. That's what I say to you. All right. What else? Love Bites. If you're a fan of Baby Metal and Bandmate and a couple of other of these bands, Love Bites is a incredible heavy metal band from Japan. I think Don is actually a fan of theirs. They're pretty killer. Forced Entry is a sort of third-tier thrash band from the 80s and 90s. They are getting a vinyl reissue of some of their classic albums. That is Covenant. They're on tour in South America. That slides in the wrong place. Grave Mass, which is a sort of underground black metal supergroup of Western Canadian metal musicians, including members of Zimmer's Hole and Tenet, have dropped new music. That's kind of fun. What else? This is Belushi Speedball. That's the band that, they do a lot of fun songs. Their new song's a tribute to South Park. I'm not your buddy, guy. I'm not your pal, buddy. And they are fun and awesome. I've interviewed them before. Quicksand, one of my favorite bands of all time, is dropped a new music video for their song Regenerate. They will have a brand new album in July on Equal Vision Records. Probably will get an interview. Accept is doing a 50th anniversary all-star laden album with other people from across famous rock and metal bands to collab with them and do Accept songs. Members of Metallica, Judas Priest, things like that. It'd be a lot of fun. I know Don's looking forward to that record. Connecticut's Fires in the Distance, melodic death metal band, has a new album coming right around the corner. Very excited for that. Mark Maron's What the Fuck podcast is getting a graphic novel from Z2 Comics. I am pumped for this. It is on its way to my home. What else? Stake, which is the band led by the founder of Desert Fest in Europe and sometimes America, has a new album coming out soon, and they dropped a new single for some stoner rock. What else? Bear McCreary, you probably know his soundtrack work, including The Walking Dead and things like that. He has his second solo album coming out soon. I sure would love to interview him also. I swear I'm not doing karaoke tonight. Me, 2 drinks later. Woo! All right. We're almost done with the show. New Music Friday. What is coming out tomorrow for New Music Friday? Let's talk about it. Every time I play the music, we get flagged. So I think tonight I'm not going to. I'm just gonna run through some of the albums, and you can listen to me talk about them. Boom. Boom goes the dynamite. You looking for this? Acid Rain for some thrash metal. Days of the Week from Back on Black Records. Once again, Anti-Moss, Beast, The Vagrant, Unkempt Grave for some blackened industrial metal. What's up, Becky? On the tick of the talk. Digging that new Sparta track. Dude, Sparta, I'm here for it. I need to see them live one more time. Artillery, the Great Finnish Thrashers, Made in Hell EP on Mighty Music, Atavistia, The Old Gods Awaken on Blood Blast Distribution, Borknagar's re-release of The True North on Season of Mist, great album if you didn't get it the first time, Confess, Metamorphosis on Frontiers SRL, great band, Crematory, Greatest Hits on RPM Roar, Crownlands, Apocalypse, Inside Out Music for some prog. Let's see, what else? Exhumed and Iron Reagan re-release Split on 10 Crimes Records. I have that on vinyl. The Ghoul Stars, the Dark Overlords of the Universe on Season of Mist. Gozu, my homies, Gozu 6 on Blacklight Media. Held, Gray on Monarch Heavy. Jungle Rot, killer new death metal album from Jungle Rot, Cruel Face of War on Unique Leader Records. Mad Honey, Bridge Over Cumberland from Deathwish Inc. Let's see. Peter Frampton's new album, Carry the Light on Universal. Propane, Back at It. Stone Cold Anger on Napalm Records for the classic hardcore metal band. Rhododendron for some black metal on the Flenser Ascent Effort. See you next Tuesday in Shop 7. Brothers EP, Sundown Records. Slayer Hell Awaits, 40th Anniversary Edition. I chose not to get one because it's not remastered. Spirit Adrift's new album drops on the physical version, Infinite Illumination, their final record, and Von Groove, Born to Rock on Frontiers SRL. And that is all the new music. And now it's time for the mailbag. And the mailbag is always one of my favorite sections because I get to show off what I'm digging on and what I got. And what I have today is I am working on my second camera angle. When I get my new setup here at the house, you will see the second camera angle. But I have an unboxing today, and I'm going to do it here on the screen. And this is the Metalhead box. This is not sent to me. I bought this personally when they were running a sale for Christmas. I resubscribed. I had gotten some stuff for them a few years back, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. Hey, Metalhead box, if you want to send me some stuff, go right ahead. But in the meantime, completely unbiased, raw reaction to this Metalhead box. So let's see what's in the package. I already cut it open with my Pobble. Let's see what we have here. It's supposed to be the 2 vinyl box. So here's a creator pin. This thing looks hella cool. I don't know if you can see that. Not too great with the light here. Kind of fun. There's a sticker. Oh, let's see. Looks like some vinyls and some other stuff. Let's see. Hi, Molly. Oh, cool. So, two vinyls here. DAI, The Advent, Die, Czech Black Metal, The Advent. That's cool. I'm always into some underground, cool black metal stuff. And then Pale Spectre, and I can't read whatever this, Bereft of Xerotic Layers on Amor Fati Records. Great label. So here's 2 vinyls. Looks like some black metal and some death metal. Let's see if these are some interesting variants or they're just plain old vinyl. That's the black vinyl on that one. And this might be a fun one. Let's see. This, The Advent, double LP, so 3 vinyls and a pin, which is usually about a $10, thing. So the three vinyls, I think with shipping it's $50. So that's pretty cool. You might check out the Metalhead box and get you some underground metal, obviously. They're bigger in other boxes. Some of their stuff comes with t-shirts. Some of their stuff has autographed cards and things and all kinds of fun things. And I'm here for it. Just a cool thing to get to share with you and unbox and, of course, get to discover some new metal I might not have checked out. I don't know that first band, DAI. I do know Pale Spectre and Amor Fati Records because we talk about them all the time. And that is our show in a very manageable 37 minutes because it is hot as balls. I am going to go cool off in the air conditioner and continue to watch New Periphery. Right on, Scooter. I'm here for that too. Hopefully we'll get another interview with Misha. You guys, if you're going out this weekend, please don't drink and drive. We're getting toward Memorial Day. It's just the time of the year when a lot of people kind of let their guard down and accidents happen. Please take care of yourselves, take care of each other, stay as metal as humanly possible. I'm going to get on out of here and, again, finish watching The Boys with Melissa. And y'all have a great weekend. Keep it to Ghost Cult for more stuff. If you're new here and you like what you saw, like and subscribe and tell a friend. I'm out. Peace. And nope, nothing.